everyone, welcome back to this channel. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Kai. I am currently in the process of getting my nutrition certification with Precision Nutrition. I also will plan on getting my personal training certification this year, which is so exciting. But I'm also currently in my own wellness journeys. I like sharing my experiences and hope that they help you as well, because I'm still in it and I'm still trying to learn, and anything that I learned I will love to share with you guys as well, just so we're all doing this in a positive, healthy way. For this video, I wanted to share ways to be confident at the gym, because I know that the gym can be an intimidating place. I've been in the gym for a few years now and it's still very intimidating for me. So I know that, like, especially when you're starting up, you just kind of get very scared of like, what should you be doing, what's like the etiquette and all of that stuff. So I'll be sharing with you guys some few things that I think are very important. So yeah, let's get into it. Obviously this is gonna sound super self-explanatory, but have a plan. I usually, even now, I plan out workouts before I even head to the gym. But something that's even more important is to have like backups. There are days that the gym is gonna be more busy than others, so it's so important to have alternatives to like certain exercises, just stuff that you can do. Because again, I think one of the things that gets really nerve-wracking, we are already overwhelmed with like, oh my gosh, what should I be doing? What move should I be doing? And when it's full, like, you already think like, oh my gosh, that was one thing that I was planning to do is probably taken. There might be a line. Always have a plan with alternatives. That way you kind of go with the flow and you're not stressed out or being like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. I usually plan for myself my workouts with like less equipment earlier on in the week, because again, earlier on in the week it's usually when it gets busier anyway. Most people go at the start of the week and start kind of like tapering off as the week goes. I usually plan my least equipment workouts during those days. They're still challenging, but they have less equipment. That way I'm not just like, oh my gosh, can't get this machine, it's ruined. I focus on mainly things with like dumbbells that I can be using, I can easily grab, stuff like that. So always have a plan. Make sure you write it down, even if it's on your notes. I usually do mine on Notion because I love tracking. Even if it's just on your notes app, write it down. That way you know, and then you can just check your phone like between sets, like, okay, this is what I'm doing next. And it actually helps you, like, especially like if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing here, I'm about to finish, my next thing is this other thing. That way you can kind of scope out the area and you're not just like wandering around, because I feel like that's where it also gets very scary when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm wandering around, they're gonna think I don't know what I'm doing. But if you have a plan and you're like, okay, I'm doing this next, you can kind of like peek out and see like if it's available, where it's at, kind of all that stuff. So again, sounds super simple, but it's so important. Make sure to write things down and have a plan. Along that vein, my second tip is to have things ready, and that means like have your water bottle ready, like fill it up at home, have your headphones ready. I have the cheaper Beats, which still work fine, but I usually turn them on, make sure that it's connected to my phone while I'm in my car. That way I'm not struggling with them once I'm like inside. For my gym, we have to scan in, so I usually have my barcode already ready. Literally right when I park is when I do all of these things. Like I set up my cell phone, I make sure to like open my app, that way it's like ready to go. Look at what you have too. Obviously if you want to put things away in the locker, that's great. Make sure you have a planner ready. Okay, I'm gonna go into this locker room, see what's open, if you're gonna have your stuff with you, everything you need. And that way you also don't feel so overwhelmed when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to like figure out. I've had this happen before where like I didn't check my headphones before time and my music started playing out loud, and that was so embarrassing, and that can be really intimidating. Always prep before time. I think that's like the theme. Just prep before time, that way you could just walk in and feel like confident, you're not like freaking out and all of that stuff. My third point is actually something that I still do now, is try to find like the quieter spots in the gym. For example, my gym has a studio, and usually when there's no classes, anyone can use them, and it's just a great place to like work out. My gym actually always has like the lights kind of very dim, which at first I hated it, but like now I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like you don't really care about what anyone's doing, you just kind of focus on you. I really enjoy the studio at my gym because again, everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. It's set away from like the main area, so you're just like in this room just doing your own stuff. And again, that's why I'm saying like I try to plan a lot of my workouts that like don't need a lot of equipment, because usually I do try to lift like heavier, like for like legs, but like there's like some moves that I'm like, I can easily do them in the studio. I go into the studio and just get them done, just because again, super easy, there's enough space for everyone's kind of on their own thing, and it's just quiet, you can do your own thing. Plus there's a lot of mirrors everywhere, you can check your form and all that stuff. If your gym doesn't have a studio that way, find like a quiet place. My gym actually also recently installed more squat racks, and it accidentally, in a positive way, created this little like nook area. I usually go there as well, like whenever I'm doing like certain exercises, I'm like, okay, I just need my dumbbells, I just need like a spot like away from everyone. I use that often just so I can be out of the way, I can just focus on myself. Because again, I feel like the most intimidating thing at the gym is like feeling like people are judging you or looking at you, and it's very scary. I'm not gonna lie, even now I'm like, oh my gosh, if I have perfect form, like what if my form sucks and someone's like, what the heck is she doing? It's intimidating. So Obviously, find quieter spaces, whatever it is. Again, I'm taking from my own experience. I know for my gym, people use like even the cycle room, because like our cycle room, like there's no classes and it's very dark, but I've seen people take dumbbells in there and do like their workouts in there. So go by like the quieter places. That way you can take your equipment there and just do your thing. I think this point is mainly for like the newbies. Honestly, don't bite off more than you can chew, because again, this is what gets very intimidating, where you're like, I'm gonna do this machine and I've seen so many people do it and all that stuff. Start with the basics. I'm currently training my nephew because he's never been to the gym, and this is actually something that I was like thinking about. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna train him? And obviously I want to train him with form first. Focus on your form. So if you've never been to the gym, just focus on your form first. I know it's intimidating when you're like, I'm gonna pick up like the smallest dumbbells, but honestly, who cares? Focus on your form first. And like what I did with my nephew is like, again, I went to the studio. They have the Les Mills bars there, so I grabbed one of those bars and just like the little weights that they have, and I started like that, and we did like a full body workout where like I went through each step. I was checking his form. It was lighter weights, but again, it was more important to get his form right than like actually go heavy and do something crazy, because he was already like, I want to do squat rack, and I was like, you are not there yet. Don't be afraid of going light. I feel like so many people want to go heavy. Obviously Instagram is like a blessing and a curse. There's some great fitness influencers out there, but obviously a lot of these people have been training for years, so they're doing things so advanced. It's better for you to start off small and build up and get your form right, get your strength right, instead of like getting hurt or going on a machine that you're like, I have no idea how to use this and all of that stuff. This is actually a tip for everyone. It doesn't even really go in this kind of section. It's not really about confidence, but this is for everyone listening. Beginner, not a beginner, people have been here for years, but please put things away. This is like my biggest pet peeve at the gym. Put things away. If you used it, you can put it back. Again, from experience from my gym, it's gotten so bad and it's just so inconvenient. One, it's dangerous because I've seen people leave like heavy plates not even near racks, like it's just like in the middle of the floor, which one is so dangerous. People can trip on that. Two, I've seen people leave extremely heavy weights on like some machines. Like people use these machines and like everyone has different levels, so like it's just super inconvenient. But it's also like very like, one, it's rude if you like leave, don't put things back. Like people need to work out. What if they needed those dumbbells and they can't find them? Put them back, y'all. I use the hex deadlift a lot, and I've seen people like leave their plates on it. I never know if like, okay, if someone still using this, what is the deal here? It's just so annoying. Put things back. It's for the safety of everyone, convenience for everyone. Be a good gym goer. Again, this is for everyone, not just newbies. Everyone still needs to know this. Please put things back. If you're using them, if you touch them, put them back. There's actually a gym out in Orange County that I go to ever so often, and they actually have a super funny sign which says like, if you can lift it, you can put it back. So that is very important. And then this last point is be confident, act like you know, and don't panic, which again sounds easier said than done. But I will say a lot of people do just focus on themselves. Like I said, I have my beats on and I generally do not care about anyone else. When I'm looking up, I'll look at the TVs that are around. I'm focusing on my music. I do like my little dances and sing along to my music. I don't care who's watching. I still get very intimidated. I'm not gonna be like, I'm so confident, great. But I feel like I get into the zone where like I'm like zooming everyone out. And that is one of my biggest tips. Just walk into that gym, know that you are paying for your right to be there. So like no one can tell you otherwise. You are paying to be there. You're allowed to use all of these things at the gym. You paid for your membership, so act confident. Again, this goes back to having a plan. If you have a plan, you're just gonna walk in, do your thing, and then it's gonna be fine. And then don't panic. I feel like this is something that I struggled with, where like back in the day when I didn't know how to schedule my workouts, like I would panic and be like, I don't know, like everything's taking, what do I do now? And I just panic and ran to a treadmill, which isn't bad. Treadmills are great, cardio is great, but at the same time it's kind of like I would panic so much and then it made me discouraged to go to the gym. Don't panic. If a situation ever happens where you're like, I generally cannot think of an alternative, everything's taken, again, there's like great alternative to that. Just go on a treadmill, have a little walk. You can try again next time. As long as you have some movement, it doesn't matter what that movement is. All movement is good movement. Walking is great, so underrated. I actually have a whole video on like my tips on how to get started in your wellness journey. I'll link it up, but literally walking is so underrated, so important. So even if you're like, I generally don't know what to do, walk. It's great, but just don't panic, because again, that's what gets you in your head. Just focus on yourself, make sure you're doing the thing, and you got this. So that is it for this video. I hope that helped a little bit. Let me know if you guys have other questions or something else that you guys would like to know. I do have more videos on my channel about like my own fitness journey. I do talk about why I don't watch what I eat in a day videos. That's another video that I think you guys should check out. But I also have a video, like I said, about like just some tips on how to start with your fitness journey. And yeah, I hope you guys go check those out. I'll link them up. And yeah, like I said, if you guys have any other questions or anything you guys want to know more about, let me know down below in the comments. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I do plan on doing more videos of sharing my own experiences and just stuff that I learned to help you on your journey. And yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.